Hi. So in this video, we will cover how to tackle purpose questions. So on your official SAT, you are likely to see 2 to 3 questions that ask you about the purpose of either a paragraph or the passage as a whole. You might be asked questions similar to these. The main purpose of the passage is to, or the first paragraph mainly serves to. Your job will be to determine the intended purpose of the passage or paragraph. What is the text doing? What is it trying to achieve? In other words, why did the author write the passage? What are the common errors? Number one is narrow focus. Wrong choices that are too narrow will accurately describe part of the text, but they'll focus on the details and not the main purpose. For example, a wrong choice on an overall purpose question might identify the point of a single paragraph. A wrong choice on the purpose of the paragraph question might describe a single sentence that's a detail and not the topic sentence. Number two, right details, wrong purpose. So, wrong choices might contain keywords or ideas from the passage but mischaracterize the point that the author is trying to make. Right? So, these two errors, you have to be super careful about them when going through the purpose questions. Number three, claims the author might agree with. Some wrong choices will make sense but extend beyond what the passage covers. Don't select a choice just because you think the author would agree with the idea that has been expressed. That may not be the point, but the author was making in the passage. Remember, we're focusing the purpose of this passage and not drawing further conclusions about the topic it covers or what the author thinks. Number four, extreme opinions. Wrong choices in purpose questions will often take the general point that the author is trying to make and express it too strongly. For example, if an author expresses skepticism or doubt about a theory, a wrong choice might suggest that the purpose of the passage is to criticize or reject that theory. Number one, read actively. Now, this is a tip that has been widely covered, but let's just go over it quickly. So, one of the best ways is to increase reading comprehension is to summarize the passage as you read. This is a good summary of the SQ3R strategy. We have already covered that in the previous video, so let's move forward. Number two is ask so what. Knowing what a passage is about is a great start, but you do much better on the SAT reading if you identify the why passage was written. When you're summarizing the ideas in the passage or paragraph, dig into purpose by asking yourself, so what? Say a paragraph describes the outcome of a scientific experiment. So what? Do these results support or weaken a central point of the passage? Or is the author calling for further research? When we move beyond the simple surface ideas to focus on these so what questions, we begin to understand the passage on a much deeper level. And this um, top tip will also help you throughout the SAT reading test. Number three, track the flow of ideas. So, how do surface ideas in the passage relate to one another? Do they work together? Do they offer contrasting views? Are transition words like however or therefore used throughout the text? These questions will help reveal the overall direction or momentum of the passage, which will direct us towards the passage's ultimate goal. The better we understand the progression of ideas within the passage, the clearer our understanding of the text's purpose should be. Number four, top tip is rephrase the question using your own words. So, questions like these can often be simplified into a more direct or manageable form. Try to rephrase the questions using how, what, or why. This is also one tip that we've covered extensively previously. Number five is make a prediction. Before looking at the choices, take your simplified version of the question back to the passage if you need to review anything, before you answer the question in your own words. Finally, uncover the options and find a match to your predictions. And number five, number six, answer the right question. So be wary of the choices that accurately reflect the content of the passage but don't address the purpose of including the reference. In other words, just because a choice is a true statement doesn't necessarily mean that it answers the question and it is the right choice. Make sure the choice you make focuses on the purpose and not just on the surface detail. So that's it for the purpose question type. In the next video, we will cover and question type.